Hello, it's April the 6th, 2024, and my name is Blair Maule. I am a researching practitioner and sculptor living in Lancashire, England. I am currently studying for my MA in Fine Art at the Open College of the Arts, where I am also the student representative. I have always been interested in art and design, and when I left school I studied at Falmouth School of Art and Design in Cornwall. Then on to university in Salford, just outside of Manchester, where I studied product design. After graduating, I worked in product marketing for a time, before heading to work with a design consultancy in London, and then in-house designing graphics and user manuals for a DJ and pro audio manufacturer. Really, for the last 20 years I've worked as a retail manager and never really found my feet or really enjoyed the experience. I guess that I look at the world today wearing a designer's point of view. I take influence from everywhere, which is often very conflicting and at times restrictive, especially when looking and evaluating my own work. I am constantly testing new ways to use materials, seeing if they work together and then questioning and really looking to see if it all makes sense. The world around us has changed so much in 25 years, and sadly not really for the better. We have impacted the environment in ways that we are going to find hard to put right. We are all far too consuming and yet quick to throw away. I remember my childhood with fond memories of making things, figuring out how things went together, and either drawing or painting. I grew up mainly in towns and villages in the countryside, which is probably why I have such a strong connection with nature. My parents were both from London, but I'm not so sure that there is or was ever a specific prompt that has influenced my work from my childhood, though I can say that living in cities has never been a high on my list of places to live. I currently live in a Lancashire valley that is well known for its cotton and felt. The heritage is steeped in history, and the landscape, though rugged and wet, is beautiful. And it's why, when considering a change of career, I wanted to sculpt and explore the landscape, and to convey the lack of investment and decay that had become so very evident in my surroundings. Through my research, it soon became clear that what I needed to do was embrace a more natural material response and have a more sustainable approach through material choice and dissemination. Donna Haraway, Jordan Peterson, Timothy Morton, and Mark Fisher have all had a profound effect on my contextual and theoretical thinking and research. Established work by Alberto Giacometti, Philida Barlow, Joseph Beuys, Henry Moore, and Anthony Gormley, and more contemporary influences from Aidan Zareski, Stephanie Metz, and Harry Morgan have heavily influenced my work. Their use of material investigation, use of form, and their ability to disseminate their work within the context of its surroundings engages audiences the world over. I'm currently researching the effects of climate devastation on human and non-human species through speculative fabulation and storytelling. I want to create a narrative within my practice that makes people feel deeply uncomfortable about human consumption and the devastation that human species have caused on the climate. Provide topics of debate and discussion in relationship to the understanding of how society looks at consumerism, political greed, and gluttony, and how that relates to current global issues. Is it so hard to believe that a parallel universe could exist where sheep are flying jellyfish? Or even some artificially intelligent cyborg that lives within an augmented reality of metamorphosis, that drives change and where non-human species and human species live harmoniously together within the land and sea? Donna Haraway's research and work around alternate theoretical perspectives and ways of telling stories awakens silent histories through deconstruction methods and opens up different possibilities of the past to recognize the present, and that can create opportunities for the future. It's not just a message of hope and coexistence, but parallels and connects with epistemology and ontological methods that create a distinction between justified opinion and belief. It matters what relations relate relations, especially in making patterns that tell stories of failure. The message at the forefront of the existential threat of survival and the need for human and non-human species connection is very clear for all to see. The ability, however, for world powers and economies to grasp the magnitude and extent at which the climate devastation is impacting the future of humanity, and to stop its inherent use of what it believes is an everlasting resource of earthly delights, is somewhat very hard to believe. The evolutionary Anthropocene, together with its advanced technology, has reaped more than it can sow, and with it comes the knowledge of not only how to dominate and how to evolve, but unfortunately not how to dwell amongst all non-human species. There is an increasing awareness for researching alternate materials and a tangible link between habitat and coexistence of species within a socio-biomorphic relationship. What comes after the Anthropocene is yet to come, but I believe that from a philosophical point of view, a biocentrocene, where all are equal and evolve together, is a harmonious way to live. Dissemination and how to connect my work with the context of its surroundings is definitely going to be challenging. Though my biggest challenge I think is still yet to come. I graduate later this year and also have my MA Fine Art exhibition to put together with the cohort. I will then be looking for collaborative opportunities with artists that share contextual and theoretical research into sustainable materials, and that will also lead to group exhibitions and hopefully gallery support. Be open-minded and follow your dreams with conviction, and don't give up on a career in the arts, as your best years are ahead of you. Through methodology and research, I am always trying new ways of material thinking, and what started out as a fascination with concrete has now become a need for looking at more sustainable material processes. I am currently using wet and dry felting techniques, understanding how to card and drop spin wool, and how to integrate paper mache and air dry clay. I actually prefer complete silence when working, as I find that noise pollutes my thought process. I'm going to read out a small extract from my favourite reaction. The wool which tightly and carefully supports the woman in her feminine parts will rot. The carefully combed hair displaying her respect for herself as a unique and expressive woman. A sexually powerful woman. Wool rots. Wool unravels. The desired object, the youthful prize, the epitome of desire, ephemera, like wool, like wire, and yet the concrete base remains. So as an observer I ask again, what is the cake base representative of? Is it merely a cake? But what's the celebration? Is the cake the symbol of gluttony? Can gluttony moulder? Can we become weary of gluttony? We will as humans, or with each one born, will face that human desire to have more than we need. Maslow thought so. Does the cake hold multiple symbolisms? Literal built concrete, the sole survivor after greed-based wars, concrete layouts of ruins. Could concrete refer to the human soul? the woman's strength of her own lived context within the human condition, very current in terms of mass criticism of consumption, of adult imagery, body image, and the anti-makeup no filters movement. My work is about telling stories and visually connecting with the audience. It's also about the historical significance of wool and the testament to its versatility, durability, and cultural importance. Artists have used natural materials across continents and centuries to create works that reflect the cultural, social, and artistic values of their time. I hope to add to this narrative in my time and collaborate with artists and galleries that share my vision and goal of creating a materialistic environmental art practice. I'd like to thank you all for listening.